So then, ladies and gentlemen, New York City FC are your 2021 MLS Cup champions. Let's talk about it. Looks like we got some technical difficulties, so we'll just skip the intro for now. Sorry about that, guys. But yes, we are back. How you doing, MLS Nation? Football Galaxy here, and welcome back to MLS Madness. Of course, this is the show where we break down all the major topics involving Major League Soccer over the course of a week. For today, guys, we have lots to talk about. Just a few league news, but most of this show is pretty much packed with transfer news and transfer rumors, considering how Sunday we had that short transfer trade window, not transfer, trade window. So we got a lot of news and rumors to talk about. So here with me to break down all of this MLS madness is my very good friend, Rufo Martinez. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, todo bien. I'm doing good, brother. And you?
Pretty good, bro. Pretty excited for today's show. We got lots to talk about, bro.
Yeah, indeed. Looking at it, I'm just like, I was talking to the State of Soccer the other day and a couple of others, especially like in the Discord server with you and everyone else. There's been a lot of movement around. Also, big congrats, shout out to Sam the FIFA Brit and his team for winning MLS Cup. I know it's the first time for New York City FC, especially for them being around the league since 2015. Same inception like Orlando City. As much as I really wanted Orlando to win a cup or any silverware, at the end of the day, there's always next season or the seasons above. But big congrats to New York City FC and the end of it.
Indeed, bro. So before we get into the talk, just a little quick announcement. I want to give an apology to you guys because I did say in my Twitter that we're going to do part 2 of episode 5 on Saturday, actually, because we were going to review MLS Cup after the game. Unfortunately, I did get busy after the game, and then on Sunday I got work. Then on Monday I had finals, so as you can see, pretty much like 3 days late. So I do apologize for that. But instead of making this part 2, episode 5, this is just going to be episode 6 of this podcast series. And before we get into the main talk, a little quick reference to our sponsor. Of course, this show has been presented by the MLS Gaming Discord server. It is a friendly gaming community for all gamers, just like me and my friend Rufo, who love to play games and are MLS fans. So it is a friendly gaming community for all gamers who enjoy or is interested in Major League Soccer. So if you are an MLS fan and enjoy playing games, then this is the server for you. All you have to do is just go to the description and click on the link, and you can join our server right there. I will also post it in the live chat as well for those who are coming in into live chat. It is there. So once again, join the MLS Gaming Discord server, the friendly gaming community for all gamers who follow, enjoy, or is interested in Major League Soccer. Now on to the talk then. Our first topic for today, of course, is our review, our thoughts of New York City FC 2021 MLS Cup Champions. Rufo, in your opinion, do you think this was expected, or do you think Portland Timbers was expecting to win MLS Cup?
To be fair, like, it has been such a wild season, and especially for this year, it's been a wild one. To in a way, it has been. To hear the comeback of Atlanta Braves of baseball, to win most of their games in the second half of the season, to win a World Series, and then you have MLS Cup. We all thought that New York City would crash out early. We all thought about it. We all thought that it would be Seattle Sounders versus New England Revolution, or Nashville versus whoever. But instead, we got the wildest playoff games that we have ever witnessed in MLS history. And not only that, we've also witnessed tons of great moments as well. For me, I didn't really expect, New York's going to win the Cup, or Portland Timbers is going to win the MLS Cup. It was more like unpredictability. And the reason why I say unpredictability, that's been the whole topic about this whole MLS Cup up until the last, and I mean the last kicks of the game in the MLS Cup final. For example,
hey, Governor Games in the live chat. How you doing, buddy?
I doing good, bro. And also, like I was saying, like like the last kick of the game in the 90th minute in stoppage time, no one expected that Felipe Mora would kick the final ball to score a late minute goal to put Portland in extra time. That was the Troy Deeney moment of the night right there when he scored that goal. And I bet everybody in that Portland Timbers Stadium at Providence Park was buzzing by the time he scored. But then there was more pressure putting on. Sean Johnson then stood up to the plate and put on amazing saves that he could basically do to block out Mora, Blanco, and Diego Valeri. And it was just perfectly classed. Penalties was fair and square. Nobody came off their line, and it was very much so back and forth. For anyone that was in the Discord server, we were seeing the penalty shootout, and it was pretty big. You know, like we all thought that Portland could actually have an opportunity to win on penalties. We've seen the experience that they had back then in the MLS Cup playoffs during penalties, but the luck of theirs with penalties just didn't arrive. And at the end of the day, New York did it how the way they were. And like I said, they then went on to celebrate, and we're going to talk more about it later. And yeah, but FG, I got a big question for you. With the MLS Cup win, though, from New York City FC, what does this mean for them moving forward overall?
Well, I mean, the one thing that I really hope they could take advantage of this is, for one, well, I think the main thing is to freaking make a soccer-specific stadium, man, because it's about freaking time. I know everyone, especially in the Discord server, everyone was saying that, like, before the final happened, like, the question was who would host MLS Cup. Was it going to be Portland Timbers, or was it going to be New York City FC? And of course, if it was going to be NYCFC, then everyone was saying like, "Oh, great, the final's going to be in a baseball stadium." So obviously, that's the only bad thing about NYCFC. The whole thing that the league has been making fun of them is that they still play since 2015. They still play in Yankee Stadium, and I think they definitely deserve a soccer specific stadium after this MLS Cup win. But this game, bro, this game was freaking intense. I thought I find it funny how both teams ended up fourth place in the Eastern Conference. So if any MLS Cup president is listening, then you know what to do, bro. All you have to do is just take your team to fourth place, and you got yourself a ticket to MLS Cup final. But bro, I was watching the game from beginning to end, and NYCFC completely surprised me, bro. Like from start to finish, they've been dominating the game. They spent like minutes of the full 90 minutes of the match, 0 lead, and Portland just couldn't score on them at all, bro. And it was just insane. Like you got the home disadvantage because of the fans yelling. You got the weather pouring down on you. The grass was slippery. I saw like a few NYCFC players slipping. And besides all of that, on top of all that, they still managed to not let Portland score a goal. And by the time the 90th minute hit, me and Oriad, who were watching the game in the live watch along stream, we were like, yeah, that's it. It's over. Like we already had our mindset that this game was over. But then Felipe Mora with the freaking miracle Troy Deeney goal to save the freaking Timbers, bro. I look back at that moment and it was just absolutely mind blown, bro. Like if you go back to my live watch along stream, and if you go to 2 hour minute 1, I think, like hour 2 minute 1, you can hear me scream out of my lungs. And this is a full confession to you guys. I don't scream that loud when it comes to soccer games, but that game made me scream unlike any other way I've ever screamed in a soccer game. I was mind blown. Like I could not believe what I just saw. It just like it made me love this sport even more. I already love it, but that play just made me love this sport even more, man, because that just is, it shows the beauty of soccer, bro. It is not over until the referee blows it's freaking over. It's just an amazing, that full 90 minutes, well, not full 90 minutes, but that last seconds of the game was absolutely insane. Of course, in extra time, the game was still 1-1, and then it all depended on penalties once again. And at the end of the game, New York City FC came out victorious and champions of MLS Cup 2021. But Rufo, I want to hear your thoughts. What did you think of this year's MLS Cup playoffs. Of course, it was extremely unpredictable. All the big teams got eliminated. New England Revolution, Seattle Sounders, all the big teams that everyone predicted would win MLS Cup did not. That was a full shock. RSL surprised us all, reaching the conference finals. They were the true underdogs. So this whole playoffs was absolutely unpredictable. Like surprise after surprise, shock after shock, upset after upset. But overall, what did you think of this year's MLS Cup playoffs?
I mean, to reiterate, like, just passion overall from every team. To the teams that didn't make it all the way, they tried to give it their all. And coming from me, from an Orlando City fan especially, yes, it was sad to see Nashville, and I know we were also kind of like all the Orlando fans, probably, not just probably me, where we were robbed. We were absolutely robbed by Alan Chapman by a VAR call. But at the end of the day, though, I just told myself it's football. It's soccer. It is football. It's just football. And you can't change nothing about it. You cannot change the fact that if a team loses, a team loses. And if the team wins, a team wins. But for me, these playoffs overall brought the best moments out of nowhere. Like, no one predicted that Jacob Glesnes would shoot a long shot in the 120th minute, in the dying moments of a game. No one expected that Nashville would beat Orlando 3-1. No one expected that Vancouver would lose as bad as they did. And they were doing pretty good at the beginning of the game that they had faced against, the Sounders, Sporting Kansas City? Like, one of those teams. And then see and hear.
Oh, I was going to say that what's funny is that in the playoffs, Vancouver played against Sporting Kansas City twice. It was the last game. Oh no, wait. Oh no, I'm wrong. My bad. I'm wrong. No, SKC played against RSL on decision day. Yeah, my bad. Continue. Sorry about that.
All right, so what's I'm gonna call it? I'm gonna try to look here at the stadium. Or not the stadium. What am I looking at? Okay. Jesus Christ. I can't barely speak. Okay. I got it. So looking at the playoff game, so this is how it all ended out to be. So look back, we're going to look at the first game being played for playoffs, right? Like I said, nobody expected Philadelphia to win this game. Everyone was going in on, like, the Red Bulls winning it all because they had their best goalie in net. And we all know who this is. Like, the guy who has a beard and the man who also has the capability of robbing goals away like no other. Carlos. Mr. Carlos in goal. But then you were facing up against probably one of the best keepers in MLS, and Andre Blake. And nobody wanted to see a penalty shootout at the time. Until Jacob Glesnes said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Fans yelled shoot, and then the goal went in. No matter what the case may be. Probably one of the craziest things that you will ever see ever. But at the end of the day, though, what can we blame upon? And then the likes of Vancouver versus Sporting Kansas City, and then this ended out to be a 3-1 beating of Vancouver. And I had a lot of high hopes for Vancouver. To be fair, I really thought that they would actually move on, in my opinion.
Yeah, me too.
This is me saying because, for one, they had Brian White, who revived his career. Ryan Gauld, who was the provider, he was basically the Carlos Heel for that team, but he's nowhere near Carlos Heel. But he's starting to become a caliber player for that one team. And that was probably the missing piece for Vancouver and the reason why they made it into this playoffs. But it was pretty unlucky until we won like that. And then you head into the New York City versus Atlanta game. And like you said, playing in the Bronx is a death wish. And I know people may slander me about, but they're playing at Yankee Stadium. That's where the New York Yankees played, not where New York City FC should actually play. Yes, but indeed, too, remember that as to begin with, and two, they've been very successful no matter what the case may be. Even in the past, that they've been playing like playoff games. For example, when they played up against, I think it was Atlanta United a few years ago, they dominated one time at Yankee Stadium with David Villa and all those other guys. But now it's just to the matter of them playing at Yankee Stadium, and they finally dominated against Atlanta United. And to be fair, I had New York City FC going through against Atlanta United. I didn't really see Atlanta United going through, even though Gonzalo Pineda was very well. Same can be said about Minnesota United. But then you get to the
You're breaking up a little bit, bro.
versus Nashville. Like, look for. Oh Jesus. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So like I'm saying, Nashville and Orlando, I thought Orlando would go in and all out, have DK Nani and Alexandre Pato perform their very best the game until Nashville's starting to pounce back out of nowhere. And that's when I closed my laptop and just said, you know what? We're finally eliminated. I know see that's to me, and also got to give credit to Nashville making it as far as they could. Now getting to the Salt Lake game versus Sounders, and like you said, the underdogs. How in the hell did Seattle Sounders lose this game? Like, for me, like talking about this game, like I was even telling you the other day, like I still can't believe Sounders lost that game. Like, this should have been an easy, good go-around game, but
That,
they've
in
had
my
all the shots on target compared to. Go ahead.
In my opinion, I think that was the biggest upset in the playoffs. In my opinion,
I feel like for me as well, like, you know, you're going up against a team that's probably the one team that you would want to see in the finals, and then you have every sports writer from ESPN, Fox Sports, and NBC Sports, like they all talk about, oh, we're gonna see Atlanta United or a big team like Seattle Sounders go through, but
yeah,
that just never happened. Then when you saw that Real Salt Lake try to do whatever the case may be, like you have guys like Bobby Wood, who used to play for Hamburg, who used to be very big with Jurgen Klinsmann, and the big man in David Ochoa. They call him the villain for a reason, and this man proved it. He went on to basically show why he's worth the value that he is with Real Salt Lake. Man showed out the way he wanted to show out, no matter what the case may be.
Indeed, bro.
But you can go on ahead to continue what you were going to say, but I'm still going to keep on continuing with the thoughts of the MLS Cup. But all I can just say is every team that I thought that would actually go on to move on, it just didn't come out to be, and then they just ended up like either losing or, for the one being, they just didn't have the quality enough. And all I can just say, give the underdog award to Real Salt Lake, because for one, that team had heart. That team who also had probably, I guess you can call it, washed up USMNT players like Bobby Wood and a couple of others. They still played their very best to make it to where they were at the time. Bobby Wood reviving, I guess, his career again, finding why he was probably a striker that Jurgen Klinsmann and the USMNT absolutely adored at times. And David Ochoa finding his mark and showing why Tata Martino should actually choose him over a couple of other people in the El Tri squad. And remember, too, with the World Cup coming up, he also declared for El Tri as well, with Julian Araujo and Efrain Alvarez all the way through.
Yeah.
So it's a very big ask to say, because he just put himself on the map. Him and Bobby Wood put himself back on the map to show why he can still probably be capable. Even if he is retired, he can still be like a pretty good bench option for the USMNT going forward, which would also be another recommendation. So State of Soccer, if you're watching it right now, probably look back into Bobby Wood a little bit, because the man can still shoot for what he can do, and
Definitely.
he is a bit of an underdog as well with an underdog team.
To be honest, bro, I'm
Either
happy.
way,
I was gonna say that.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that. To be honest, bro, I'm happy that he's joined MLS. In fact, I would have loved him if he would have joined sooner. But I'm honestly glad that we have Bobby Wood in Major League Soccer.
Yeah, indeed. And then, of course, you have the Portland win versus Colorado. Everyone thought that Colorado would actually go ahead and win that game with Kellyanne Acosta and that whole entire team of Colorado, who's been very dominant. And then you get to Real Salt Lake versus Sporting Kansas City. And my God, I was like, everyone in the server was going crazy when Bobby Wood scored a goal to put them in the lead, to put them minutes away from winning their first playoff game that was on an actual scoreline that would actually bring them close to MLS Cup.
And then you get to Philadelphia versus Nashville. And in this game, I mean, all you can just say is Hani Mukhtar and Daniel Gazdag. And that's about it. But then you see Nashville not scoring a single goal. This is why Andre Blake, for me, is probably one of the best keepers along with Matt Turner. And I'm not going to put Galese in there. And the reason why is because I've been slacking a little bit, but I'll get to that later. But Andre Blake and Matt Turner, not Timmy Turner, Matt Turner are 1-2 with the best keepers of MLS in the league.
I would include Sean Johnson too.
Okay, and him too as well. Now that I realized too. I forgot about Sean Johnson. My bad. Why did I forget about Sean?
MLS Cup champion, bro. You can't leave him hanging, bro.
Okay, now to be fair though, he did block a couple of shots against New England, and the New England game was also crazy against New York City FC. Nobody expected the game to finish 2-2, but to see Tajon Buchanan also in his final ever appearance for the club, to see why he was the reason why Club Brugge signed him, the capabilities that he had was very amazing. But to see Tati Castellanos get a red card while scoring a goal to put NYCFC into the lead, it very much shocked me. And I'm like, dang, if New York City FC move on, they're going to go without their top striker. But it was no problem for them because in the next conference finals here, Portland then beating the underdogs in Real Salt Lake, which I kind of had a feeling Portland would move on, but I wouldn't be surprised if Real Salt Lake had won that game. But indeed, at the end of the day, though, it was Portland going to be coming out on top. But the Philadelphia and New York City game, I thought that Philly would go all the way and win this game.
Yo, me
I don't
too.
know why, but they had a good feeling that they could have won the game. But instead, I think it was Talis Magno, the FIFA Pro Cup looking player, absolutely scoring a goal at the end of the game to put this team into the MLS Cup final for the first time in their history. And then Portland versus New York City, Sean Johnson for penalty shootouts. That's the whole theory of it. Sean Johnson. Put him in the list of people that should be on the best goalkeepers of MLS with the USMNT. Him, Matt Turner, and Zach Steffen. There you go.
Definitely,
I know
bro.
there's Ethan Horvath with his heroics and stuff, and I know there's other people like Bill Hamid, but Sean Johnson, for me, like if anyone that supports the USMNT or anyone that follows the USMNT, Sean Johnson should be your third keeper.
He needs to be called up, bro. He needs to.
He has been called up, and don't get me wrong, he has been called up once or twice, but he's the third line to the goalkeeping position. I know he may not have that much experience, but he has been a very underrated keeper, along with Matt Turner and a couple of other keepers from the United States. But I know Zach Steffen and Matt Turner, of course, they got their place, but another great underrated keeper that no one's been probably talking about a lot has been Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson.
Indeed, bro. Indeed. And
But anyway, too, that was a long time that I was speaking there. So holy shit, my bad on that one.
That's okay, bro. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, so yeah, with that being said, that pretty much wraps up the 2021 MLS campaign. Of course, for those who are sad about no MLS soccer, don't be sad because the next season starts in 2 months, literally in February. So 2 months away, we'll be getting more MLS soccer. But until then, of course, we will, without a single doubt, be getting more league news, which brings us to our next topic for today, which is, according to Twitter, it is official that the CONCACAF Champions League draw will be tomorrow. And of course, we already have the five MLS teams who are officially qualified and will represent MLS in the CONCACAF Champions League. So we got the New England Revolution for winning the Supporter Shield, and Colorado Rapids winning Western Conference regular season winners. We got Seattle Sounders winning second best regular season record. I honestly have never heard of this title. Like I've never heard apparently if you break that, you're automatically qualified to the Champions League. But all right. Then we got CF Montreal winning Canadian Championship winners, and of course New York City FC winning MLS Cup Champions. And so now it comes to the question: with this new roster of MLS teams who will be playing in the 2022 Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League, which of these teams could finally break the curse and bring one home for MLS? in my opinion, Rufo, I think it's either between New England Revolution or maybe New York City FC. Either one of those two teams. What do you think?
Yeah, like even then looking at it, looking here back at the slides here, hold on, let me find it. Looking at the teams, it's very, very good and well organized here. Because for one, you have one team who had the best record in all of MLS, had another team who was the best team in the West that reclaimed first place away from the Seattle Sounders. And then the Seattle Sounders, who has probably had experience in these types of cup competitions, though the only question is, does their star striker return back along with their star midfielder, which in that case can be very good. CF Montreal then absolutely dismantling Toronto FC, though by like a minimum score. And then the MLS Cup Champions. I feel like the MLS Cup rosters, or Champions League rosters for CONCACAF, apologies. Like the CONCACAF Champions League roster for MLS looks set. And I feel like there will be the teams that will compete in this type of competition. I know there's going to be the likes of America, the likes of Atlas, and the likes of Cruz Azul, who are very good teams from Mexico.
Actually, I think America is not in the. I don't think America is in the CONCACAF Champions League.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Wait,
that's the first.
Let me search it up.
Then just Cruz Azul and Atlas. Damn.
No. I remember Leon. Leon is one of them. Hold on.
Oh, and Leon too. They won the League's Cup, I think. Yeah, they did. They won the League's Cup.
So it's gonna be Cruz Azul, Pumas, Santos Laguna, and I think Atlas, because since they just won. Okay, here we go. So it's Leon, Cruz Azul, Pumas, and Santos Laguna. Oh, okay. I guess Atlas is not going to be a part of that. Oh well. But yeah, those are the La Liga teams. Honestly, if we're going to talk about La Liga, I think the two teams who I would look out for the most would be Leon and Cruz Azul, because I know Pumas beat America, but Pumas is not as good, to be honest. And Santos, same thing for them. So I think Leon and Cruz Azul would be the two teams that the MLS team should look out for in the CONCACAF Champions League.
Especially with Cruz Azul, because they have a guy that used to play for MLS as well, in Yoshi Yotun. If you don't know who Yoshimar Yotun is, Orlando City former player as well, was bossing the midfield, could actually give out assists no matter what the case may be. Now, yes, he only scored like 3 goals with us, but he was the provider of our midfield whenever it was possible. And it's the reason why, like, he somewhat kind of carried our team when Kaká left. And to see Yoshi grow to be the guy that he is for Cruz Azul and to make them become a better team is very much surprising to see. So that's probably one big one for any MLS team that faces Cruz Azul at all in the CONCACAF Champions League. And for another thing too, like for me, I think the one thing to focus on is for the MLS teams is the fact that the transfer market, along with trades or whatever moves that they have to make in order to become prepared, like what players are suitable for the Champions League of CONCACAF and what players are up for the challenge and up for the task to bring one home in America, to bring one home, that specific trophy, to get them to their first Club World Cup qualification, to get them to their first ever trophy ever placed in a long time.
Indeed, bro.
Yeah. Like that's the biggest questions that's ever been brought up to my attention, which if that isn't the one thing that has ever been brought to your attention that, who's going to bring one home, it's the fact that you got to have heart and spirit no matter what the case may be. But yeah.
Indeed. So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, will be the draw. Time, they didn't really exactly say at what time, but it will be the draw. So we're going to find out which MLS teams will be facing which teams in the round of 16. So we might be seeing an early MLS versus Liga MX clash. Of course, again, we're going to have to see who it's going to be. So stay tuned for tomorrow, guys, because tomorrow we will get the round of 16 for the 2022 CONCACAF Champions League. Moving then on, guys, to our next topic for today, which is the 2021 expansion draft. It actually is today, and it's going to start in 10 minutes, but I'm just going to talk about the teams, the players that is eligible for Charlotte FC. Once Charlotte announces their players, I'll just like say like in a short video and all that stuff. So it won't be for today's show. It's just too much players to talk about because we're just gonna talk about the main players that Charlotte FC could get in today's expansion draft. So if you guys don't know the rules, Charlotte FC will will be able to select up to 5 players from the eligible player list, which are players who are out of their contracts in their current club. So basically, in other words, they are free agents. So, but there are 5 teams with the exception, which are LA Galaxy, Nashville, New York Red Bulls, Orlando City SC, and San Jose Earthquakes. Those 5 teams are the exception after having players selected by Austin FC in the 2020 MLS expansion draft. This is, by the way, coming to us from the MLS website. So the big names that are in this free agent out of contract player list include Jesus Medina from New York City FC, Bradley Wright Phillips from Columbus Crew. Let's see. I'm looking at the list right here, and it's a lot of list. Believe me. Technically, Diego Rossi, he is on loan, but technically he is in the list, so that would be a pretty cool signing if Charlotte FC grabs Diego Rossi from LAFC. Matuidi is actually in the list, believe it or not. Matuidi is in the list from Inter Miami. Who
No
else?
way.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
No way.
I'm not kidding. It's in the list. Let's see. Then we got other big names. Like I said, Jesus Medina. I think Medina would be the top spot considering how he literally just won MLS Cup. Maxi Morales. He is in the list as well. Holy cow! So they could get Morales as well, maybe. And another.
man, that's
And 3 big names, all from Portland Timbers, which personally I would love if the Galaxy could get. The first one being Sebastian Blanco. He was actually an out of contract player. He's not in the list actually, but he's out of contract player. Portland has not re-signed him yet, so that they could steal Sebastian Blanco. Another name in the list as well is MLS veteran Diego Valeri. He is in the list, and we actually have a rumor about him, which we'll talk about later. So Diego Valeri is in the list. Jose Carlos Barranquin, I think he was on loan from Chivas, but I'm not sure if Portland signed him permanently. But he is in the list as well for out of contract player. And yeah, that's pretty much all the big names that Charlotte from the list of all the players that Charlotte FC could get. Again, they can only select up to 5 players. That's it, no more. So it's going to be interesting to see who they're going to get. Obviously, the top player that many people are saying and predicting that Charlotte could get is Jesus Medina from New York City FC. But Rufo, from all the players that I stated, who do you think Charlotte should get, or who do you think would be a good addition for Charlotte FC's lineup?
It's a very good one because they have to look for a creator, and I feel like they should actually go for a creator in the midfield. And if Maxi Morales doesn't re-sign with New York City FC, it'd probably be a good fit for him, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. And New York City knows that that's their important player. But another player that they did not exercise was Jesus Medina. And Jesus Medina was a very good, surprising pick that I actually saw. And I'm like, why didn't they re-sign Jesus Medina? And the reasons being is probably because, well, for one, they're trying to get off the wage bill, and 2, they want to see if they can have new people come into the lineup. With that being said, Medina would probably be a good fit for them as well. I mean, you could go with another world-class player in Matuidi who has experience with PSG, has a lot of European experience with Juventus as well, won the World Cup with France, but just never showed up for Miami. Only showed up for one season and was okay for Miami, but just this season just became an overrated merchant that just didn't perform to be very good. He basically performed like Thomas Partey in his first season with Arsenal, where he was injured just without the injuries for replacement Tweedy, and the fact that he just couldn't provide anything because he could just shoot balls from out of nowhere. But I feel like for myself, also too, I'll be right back in a little bit too, but this is just like the thing so I can wrap up whatever I have to say here. I'll be back in a little bit, but anyways. But yeah, I would say Jesus Medina, and for the reasons being, if you saw like the stat line that he has had with New York City FC, he's been in that attack and along with the midfield that has
been paired up with Maxi Morales to feed Tati Castellanos or Rodriguez or Tallis Callan and on the wings, and no matter what the case may be, because this man's been able to find whatever the case may be. It was the formula and the anecdote that of why New York City FC was able to win. Because with Maxi Morales and Medina, they've honestly just been very, very dangerous in that midfield. But now that New York City might be losing two players or losing one of their key players that they had to win the MLS Cup is a big loss. But I feel like if Charlotte FC signed him, Jesus Medina, or like at least draft him, it will be such a very big upgrade, like an upgrade at all in the midfield, no matter what the case it be. But you have to build them around an attack that can actually provide.
Yeah.
Which is one big thing as well.
Yeah.
But what's it call it? Yo, I'll be right back in a little bit. I'm gonna put myself on mute because I gotta do something.
All right, no worries, bro. No worries.
I'll be right back, folks.
So then, guys, we're moving on then to our next topic. So now we're moving to a different segment, not a new segment, different segment. We'll be going now to the transfer news. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna talk about the transfer news, and then we're gonna go into the transfer rumors. So first, the transfer news. This is actually coming from us today, from the MLS website. So Pat Noonan named FC Cincinnati head coach. And according to the MLS website, Noonan joins after spending the last 4 seasons as an assistant coach with the Philadelphia Union, where new Cincinnati general manager Chris Albright also previously worked. Oh, that's interesting, actually. Together, they're looking to bring the Ohio-based side forward after 3 straight bottom-of-the-league finishes since joining MLS as an expansion side in 2019. So, and this is his quote: "We are proud to introduce Pat as the new head coach of FC Cincinnati," Albright said in a release. "He has demonstrated a track record of coaching success, and we're excited to bring his leadership to FC Cincinnati." So this is actually going to be the second time so far in 2021 where an assistant coach has been signed as a head coach position. The first time being Ezra Hendrickson. He was an assistant coach, I believe, for Columbus Crew. I might be wrong. But of course, he is the head coach for Chicago Fire now. So this is the second time we're seeing an assistant coach being signed up as head coach. Pat Noonan. Honestly, I have not heard of this guy, nor do I know much about him. I wish State of Soccer would be here listening to the show, so that way he could provide us with some info, since he is a Philadelphia Union coach. But according to here, it says here, aside from his time in Philadelphia, Noonan was also an assistant coach with the LA Galaxy. Wow, actually, I've never heard of this guy, actually. And U.S. men's national team, working alongside now New England Revolution head coach, sporting director Bruce Arena at both stops. That's pretty interesting, actually. And this is a direct quote from him saying, "It's an honor to be named the head coach of FC Cincinnati. Thank you to Chris, Jeff Birding, Carl H. Lindner III, and the ownership group for putting their faith in me. I'm thrilled to take on this opportunity at FC Cincinnati and to get started." So yeah, I pretty much don't know that much about this guy. In fact, I've never heard of him, even if he was an assistant coach for LA Galaxy. But for the sake of FC Cincinnati, hopefully this guy does bring the club back to success. Because here's the thing. Back when this team was in USL, besides Sacramento Republic, this team was the biggest USL team who were just begging MLS to join the league. They wanted to join the league so bad for so long, and when they joined, they unfortunately became the biggest joke of the league. Obviously, not even making the playoffs, and in their first two seasons in the league. So they have not had a really good start, and they're pretty much desperate to finally gain success in MLS. So hopefully, for their own sake, Pat Noonan can pretty much bring the job. Just pretty much do well, and finish the job well for FC Cincinnati. And yeah, tell me your guys' comments though. I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions. Do you think Pat Noonan will bring success to FC Cincinnati, or do you expect Cincinnati to just remain a joke as they are right now? Tell me in the live chat if you're watching or if you're listening after the show. Tell me in the comments below. Moving then on to our next topic for today, which is Real Salt Lake naming Pablo Mastroeni as permanent head coach. So this guy was actually interim for Real Salt Lake during the MLS Cup playoffs, and look what he did. Like, yes, he lost to Portland Timbers in the conference final, but come on, guys. This man led RSL to the conference finals, just one game away from MLS Cup final. But this guy, the last team that qualified to the MLS Cup playoffs, the underdogs, reaching the MLS Cup playoffs, the conference finals, defeating Seattle Sounders, defeating Sporting Kansas City. This man pretty much did an impressive display for RSL, and he pretty much got rewarded. I'm glad RSL named this guy as permanent head coach. This is, of course, coming to us from the MLS website yesterday, Monday. So after sparking a run to the Western Conference Final in the Audi 2021 MLS Cup playoffs, Real Salt Lake have named Pablo Mastroeni as their permanent head coach. Mastroeni was serving as interim head coach following Freddie Juarez's mid-season departure to become a Seattle Sounders assistant coach. So according to the general manager of RSL, Elliot Fall, he says that we're thrilled to have Pablo on board long term. We accept success for years to come under his leadership. Pablo's ability to build a culture and instill belief within the club has resulted in the most tight-knit locker room scene in years. We're excited for him to instill that throughout our entire organization. So, yeah, we're pretty much seeing this is a good move, in my opinion. We're pretty much seeing a potential successful manager for Real Salt Lake, especially since Real Salt Lake have not won their MLS Cup since I want to say 2013 or 2015. No, Portland Timbers was 2015. I think 2013 was when Real Salt Lake won their last MLS Cup. I'm searching it right now. It was in 2009. Holy cow. So RSL, the last time they won an MLS Cup was back in 2009. So it's been quite a while since they won their last MLS Cup. So with this impressive display, with this impressive show that RSL did in the 2020 MLS Cup playoffs, we could be seeing a more successful RSL team. They might even reach MLS Cup next season. Who knows? But yeah, this is a really great move. But tell me your thoughts on this as well, guys. Tell me your thoughts in the live chat if you're obviously watching live or after the show. Tell me in the comments below what you guys think of Pablo Mastroeni signing as head coach for Real Salt Lake. Do you expect success for him, or do you think RSL just won't be as successful in the playoffs as they were this year? Tell me your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Moving then on, guys, to our next segment, which, again, as stated before, we're not going to be entering into the transfer news. So for our first topic in the transfer news segment, Nashville SC sent 2 international slots to Charlotte FC for $500K allocation money. This is, of course, again, coming to us from the MLS website. Nashville SC has traded 2 international roster slots to Charlotte FC in exchange for $500,000 in general allocation money, as announced Sunday in the league's half-day trade window. Nashville SC also reserved the right to swap first-round picks with the expansion side in the 2023 MLS Super Draft presented by Adidas. So basically, Charlotte FC now has 2 international slots, which I think one of them they already filled with the signing of Vinicius Melo, but we'll talk about him in a moment. But they have 2 international slots. Again, I'm not sure if they already filled it with Melo or even with with Melo. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. But for now, who do you guys think, if Melo did take that spot, that first international slot, who do you guys think Charlotte will sign next as an international spot or an international player? Tell me your thoughts in the live chat or in the comments below. Moving then on to our next topic, another international slot transfer. This time it's FC Dallas. They have acquired a 2022 international roster slot from Nashville SC, again from Nashville, in exchange for $250,000 in general allocation money. So the same exact trade, only this time it was for $250,000 and only just for one international roster slot. So that is 3 slots that Nashville SC has given away to Charlotte FC and FC Dallas. A peculiar move there from Nashville. Kind of strange, but let's see what happens. Do I expect Nashville to sign a new player? I mean, they already have, actually. They already have. We'll talk about him later. But as for another player, maybe. I mean, considering how they did reach the playoffs, they finished 3rd in the MLS Eastern Conference, or is it 4th? No, wait, hold on. I need to see the standings again. Hold up really quick, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure they finished 3rd or 4th. They finished 3rd, didn't they? Oh, there we go. Come on. They finished 3rd in the MLS Eastern Conference this season. And, of course, they did have a record of an unbeaten streak at home. So, basically, just to sum this up, I don't think I'm expecting Nashville to do a few signings, maybe 1 or 2, possibly 3 at the most. But I don't expect Nashville to do much signings this transfer window. But who knows? Maybe they might. But Dallas, as for Dallas, they should definitely take this as an advantage, especially with the talk of Ricardo Pepi possibly leaving FC Dallas. They should definitely take this as an opportunity to sign an international player with this international roster slot. So that brings up the question, who would be a good signing? Like, which player not playing in MLS would be a good signing for FC Dallas? Tell me your thoughts, your comments in the live chat or in the comment section below. Moving then on to our next topic. This time it is a player transfer. It is Vinicius Melo joining Charlotte FC. And this is coming to us from the MLS website. There we go. So Charlotte FC have acquired Brazilian forward Vinicius Melo from Internacional, the expansion club, announced Monday. Melo will join as a U22 initiative player, signing through 2025 with a club option for 2026. Okay, so Charlotte FC does still have those 2 international slots open. But of course, that is the question, who could they sign? We'll ask that question later. The 19-year-old made 13 appearances for Internacional after earning his senior debut this year, featuring in the league and Copa Libertadores. That's pretty cool. He worked under Charlotte head coach Miguel Angel Ramirez as Internacional as well, plus scored 15 goals and added 5 assists in 35 appearances for the club's U20 team. So according to the sporting director Zoran Kerneta, we're excited to bring in a player of Vinicius' potential to Charlotte FC. He's been a proven goal scorer in the youth ranks at Internacional, but is still very new to senior football despite already playing in the Brazilian top flight and Copa Libertadores. So we pretty much got a new South American rookie, ladies and gentlemen, joining Charlotte FC. This is pretty interesting because what is the other expansion team who did sign South American rookies and look where he is now? Atlanta United with Miguel Almiron. That guy was a South American rookie, joined Atlanta United, and from there joined Newcastle, or Oil Castle for those who enjoy banter. But yeah, so this is not something new. We got another MLS team signing another South American rookie. Now, technically, you could say the same for Inter Miami when they signed Pellegrini, but well, there was a whole scandal for Pellegrini, and well, that kind of went down the tube. So we'll just not talk about that. we won't talk about that for you Miami fans. But Charlotte FC signing a Brazilian rookie from Sport Club Internacional is pretty interesting in my opinion. Yes, he is 19 years old. Yes, you might say he's still too young. And yes, you might say that he's probably not ready for senior football. But in my opinion, I think part like a good thing about MLS is that we get to see South American rookies shine. So I'm pretty excited about this. to be honest, I don't care that much about Charlotte, but I am excited about them signing a new rookie Brazilian from South America, maybe even a rookie sensation. Who knows? So that would be definitely something to look out for. Moving on to the next transfer signing. This is actually from the Sunday trade window. It's Jalen Lindsey. So hold on, let me just find it really quick. Shoot. Trying to find the article. Wait, if I remember correctly. Oh, wait. Okay, found it. Come on. Okay, there we go. So this is coming to us from Charlotte FC's Twitter. So we have acquired the defender from Sporting Kansas City in exchange for general allocation money. So more general allocation money. Actually, they're giving away general allocation money for Sporting Kansas City, but they have acquired Jalen Lindsey from SKC, and according to Google, his stats include, hold on. So in 2021, he's played 14 matches and has only scored 2 goals for Sporting Kansas City, and he has gotten only 3 yellow cards. But as for Sporting Kansas City 2, the reserve team, he only played 3 matches throughout 2021. But this player, he played the exact same matches as he did for the main team this year as he did in 2020. And in 2019, he only played 1 match, that match being in the CONCACAF Champions League. So this is a pretty interesting player. He is an American, and he's a right back. So this is a right back for Charlotte FC. So definitely something to boost their defense. And in case you don't know his age, he is 21 years old, so he's pretty young. So a pretty good young right back. That's a pretty good sign. In my opinion, that's a good signing, a good trade for Charlotte FC to boost their defense. But for you Sporting Kansas City fans, if you're watching, what do you think about this move? Are you gonna miss Jalen Lindsey, or do you think or are you happy that you got rid of him? And as for Charlotte FC fans, are you excited to have Jalen Lindsey in your new roster, or do you expect him to not be so good in the team? Tell me your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, or in the live chat as well. Moving on then to our next transfer window, again for Charlotte. This time it's Pablo Niega being traded from LAFC to Charlotte in exchange for general allocation money once again. Pablo Niega, I do remember this guy. He did play a few matches in Old Trafford against LA Galaxy, but I think he would be a good addition as goalkeeper. He was not a bad goalkeeper in my opinion. He was decent, obviously not as good as Tyler Miller back when LAFC had Tyler Miller. But in my opinion, I think Niega was a good goalkeeper, and I think he would do good for Charlotte FC. I'm not sure how old he is though, but let me check really quick. So Pablo Niega, Mexican goalkeeper, 26 years old. That's a good age. Honestly, that's a good age. But yeah. So LAFC fans, if you're listening or watching, do you think this is a good move? Like, do you think? Do you guys agree with Pablo Niega leaving LAFC, or do you think that was, or are you gonna miss Pablo Niega? And the same question goes for Charlotte FC. Are you guys looking forward to having Niega as your goalkeeper? Personally, I think that's a good move. In my opinion, I think that was a pretty good move. But what are your guys' thoughts? Tell me once again. Tell me in the comments section below or in the live chat. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. What do you think Pablo Niega will be successful for Charlotte FC or not? Tell me your thoughts and comments in the comment section or live chat. Moving then on. Oh wait a minute, we already talked about that guy. My bad. Moving then on to our next topic, which is Eduardo Tuesta leaving LAFC to Palmeiras. This is the second player from LAFC this season who has left the club. Of course, the first one being Diego Rossi, but he was on loan. This one is a permanent transfer to Palmeiras, to Brazil, and this is coming to us from the MLS website. So LAFC has transferred midfielder Eduardo Tuesta to Brasileiro side Palmeiras, the Western Conference club announced on Monday. A source adds that LAFC will receive $4 million upfront with incentives that could extend the fee to $7 million. That's pretty cool, actually. MLSsoccer.com reported yesterday that the Black and Gold and back-to-back Copa Libertadores winners were in advanced discussions over the move. According to LAFC co-president and general manager John Thorrington, not to be confused with John Thorrington. No, I'm just kidding. We are excited for Edward in the next step of his career. Since he arrived in our first season, Edward has been a leader both on and off the field. His contributions in building LAFC have been immense, and we are grateful for now as he has represented the club. Eduardo developed into an MLS All-Star and Best 11 player in his time in LAFC, and it is gratifying to see him move on to perform for a team that won the 2020 and 2021 Copa Libertadores. So yeah, that's right. So in my opinion, this is a pretty good move because Eduardo Tuesta is pretty much joining a real team that wins trophies. Sorry there. I just had to launch a bit banter there, so I do apologize, guys. I do apologize. But yeah, so Eduardo Tuesta, this is gonna be the third biggest move, biggest person who's left LAFC. The first one being Diego Rossi, again on loan. I think he's back in the team, but I'm not sure yet. I'm pretty sure he is. But then, of course, Bob Bradley leaving his position as manager of the team. And now Eduardo Tuesta, which could probably be considered as the best midfielder LAFC had this season. So LAFC have pretty much losing three big players. Well, I guess technically not Diego Rossi because, again, it was on loan. So, but they have lost two big players, two big persons in their club. Their coach, Bob Bradley, and now their best midfielder, Eduardo Tuesta. He is now leaving MLS to the Copa Libertadores champions, Eduardo Tuesta. Personally, guys, as an LA Galaxy fan, I could not be happier. I mean, come on, guys, Galaxy fans, if you're watching, you can't agree with me on this. We just love seeing bad stuff happen to LAFC. No offense, of course, to LAFC, but I mean, come on. At the end of the day, it's just banter. What do you expect? That is how the sport works. That's how the fandom works in sports. So yeah, but I think this is just. I think it's a cool move. A cool move for him in his career, not for LAFC. And for him personally in his career, I think it's a pretty cool move. A chance for him to finally win titles, compared to a team who doesn't win titles. What's again with the freaking banter? Gosh dang it! But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Eduardo Tuesta. Basically, we're still waiting on Rufer to come back. But in the meantime, we'll just move on to the next transfer. News. So moving on then to our next topic, which is another LAFC move. This good news, LAFC fans. This time you do get a player back instead of losing one. So this time we are talking about Franco Escobar being traded from Atlanta United to LAFC. This is once again coming to us from the MLS website. So LAFC strengthened their defense Sunday, acquiring right back Franco Escobar from Atlanta United for up to $600,000 in general allocation money, as announced in the MLS half-day trade window. Atlanta will receive $250,000 in GAM in 2022, up to $350,000 in GAM in 2023, if certain performance metrics are met, as well as a percentage of a future transfer if Escobar is moved outside of MLS. That's pretty cool. And once again, John Thorrington says, Franco is a talented, proven MLS player who has made an impact in our league. His ability to play multiple positions and his international experience will make him a great fit in LA. To be honest, this is coming from me as an LA Galaxy fan. To be honest, guys, if we have sold Julian Araujo, this would have been a great replacement. But well, we still have Araujo. We're still waiting for a European team to sign him. And well, bad timing, I guess, because LAFC got Franco Escobar. But speaking of the transfer, I think this is a great move for LAFC. Again, I'm just putting my LA Galaxy fan aside for a moment, and it's time for me to say something good about LAFC now that I bantered them in the last topic. So yeah, this is a pretty good move for LAFC in my opinion. Franco Escobar being one of the best defenders for Atlanta United. As for Atlanta United, I feel sad for them because this guy was one of their best and now they lost him to LA former Chivas, which sucks. But well, I'm curious to see who Atlanta United could replace Franco Escobar. But as for LAFC, this is a pretty good move. A really good boost to the defense, especially because again, Franco Escobar, in my opinion, is one of the best defenders in the league, if not the best defender for Atlanta United. So this is a pretty good move for LAFC. But who do you guys think Atlanta United could sign to replace Franco Escobar? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section or in the live chat. Moving on to our next trade move, which is Daniel Steres moving from the LA Galaxy to Houston Dynamo. This is once again coming to us from the MLS website. So Houston Dynamo have acquired defender Daniel Steres from the LA Galaxy in exchange for the Dynamo's natural third-round pick, 60th overall, in the 2022 MLS Super Draft presented by Adidas. The clubs announced Sunday. The Galaxy will also retain a portion of Steres' salary budget charge in 2022. That's kind of weird, but okay. The 31-year-old center back has made 140 regular season appearances, all with the LA Galaxy, since moving from Galaxy 2 in 2016. He joins Tim Parker in teenage Hadib on the Dynamo center back depth charts. According to Dynamo general manager Pat Onstad, we are thrilled to welcome Daniel and his family to our club. Daniel brings valuable MLS experience to our group and models the competitive and selfless character traits that we want in every player that we bring to Houston. Now, time for my opinion. And again, this is coming to an LA Galaxy fan, more convenient because this is an LA Galaxy related transfer move. And here's my opinion. Thank goodness that we freaking got rid of this guy, because my gosh, like, oh my goodness, this guy was with us forever, and it was about time this guy left the club. So happy that we finally got rid of him. And no offense, I mean, yeah, I am being rude, but I mean, come on. I'm pretty sure Galaxy fans will agree with me on this. We seriously needed to improve our defense. And Daniel Steres, he was at decent at most, but that guy made several mistakes with the LA Galaxy. I still remember that auto goal he did in El Tráfico. Yes, he did redeem himself by giving an assist to Zlatan Ibrahimovic to give possibly the best goal in LA Galaxy history against LAFC. But other than that, we just seriously needed to improve the defense, and that involved with us getting rid of him. Of course, that did not happen until now, and I'm so happy that we finally got rid of him. And yeah, I'm just hoping, because now we have Nick DePew, Sarah Koulibaly, and Derek Williams. I think Marcus Furcranis as well, but we still need to boost our defense, man. I'm glad we got rid of Steres, but we really need to boost our defense. So I'm really hoping that in this transfer window, LA Galaxy can sign a defender, hopefully. Speaking of which, there actually is a rumor of LA Galaxy possibly signing a new defender. We will talk about that later, though. Wait, hold on. Yeah, he's a defender. So yeah, we will talk about that later. Moving on to our next transfer move, once again involving LA Galaxy. Ethan Zubak moving to Nashville SC. This is coming to us from the MLS website. So Nashville SC added more attacking help on Sunday, acquiring forward Ethan Zubak from the LA Galaxy in exchange from the club's natural first-round pick, 21st overall, in the 2022 MLS Super Draft presented by Adidas. It was announced as part of the league's half-day trade window. So Ethan has the potential to be a unique attacking player with his combination of athleticism and tenacity, Nashville SC general manager Mike Jacobs said in a statement. He is dangerous in and around the box and is a constant threat. He is a really good fit for our club. Now, once again, this is coming from an LA Galaxy fan, and I'm literally just going to say the exact same words. Thank goodness that we got rid of him, because seriously, this guy was just not a good backup striker. Like, for a while now. Like, I don't care if he was decent with LA Galaxy 2, our reserve team. This guy was just not a good backup striker overall at all. So I'm so happy that we finally got rid of Ethan Zubak, because we had him for a while now. So hopefully we can bring a new potential rookie who will be a better backup striker for our LA Galaxy team. Because right now, I think we only have three strikers, attackers anyway. Um, Chicharito, Dejan Joveljic, and I think Cameron Dunbar, but he's more of a winger, to be honest. But we only, technically speaking, we only have two strikers, so we desperately need a backup striker. Hopefully, a rookie who will get the job done and actually be a good striker for us. So I'm glad. I'm glad with this move. I am so happy. I'm so happy that we got rid of Ethan Zubak. And hey, good luck. Good luck to him for Nashville. I couldn't give a crap about Nashville SC. Again, I don't hate Nashville. I just don't give a crap about them. They don't bother me at all. So yeah, good luck to Ethan Zubak in Nashville, and of course, good luck to Daniel Steres for Houston Dynamo. I think Daniel Steres at Houston Dynamo was a decent signing, a good move, and of course, Ethan Zubak possibly getting some chance to getting more playtime for Nashville. So good luck to him as well. Moving then on to our next transfer move, another move to Nashville. This time it's Teal Bunbury from New England Revolution going to Nashville SC. And once again, this is coming to us from the MLS website. A quick water break. Hold on. All right. Yeah, I've been talking for a while now. Hopefully, Rufo can join us soon. But yeah, so Teal Bunbury joining Nashville SC. So it says here in the MLS website, Nashville SC have acquired veteran forward Teal Bunbury from the New England Revolution for up to $150,000 in general allocation money. It was announced Sunday. ESPN's Jeff Carlsley was the first to report the trade, which was part of MLS's half-day trade window. Nashville sent $75,000 in general allocation money to the refs, with an additional $75,000 possible if certain incentives are met. So according to the general manager, Mike Jacobs, for Nashville SC, Teal is a proven winner who has the pedigree and DNA we look for in members of our club. Not only is he a proven goal threat that is versatile enough to play a number of roles in and around the attack, but he is also an outstanding player who aids the club and community off the field. We feel very fortunate to have him join us. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know much about Teal Bunbury. I thought he was a decent player, but Macho, who is a member of the MLS Gaming Discord server, and he's a New England Revolution fan, Macho pretty much agrees with this move. Like, he's happy that Teal Bunbury is leaving the club. So I guess that means that he was not that much of a good player for New England Revolution. But I mean, I guess this would be a good move for Nashville SC. Honestly, Rufo knows more about Teal Bunbury than I do. I really hope he can join us soon. I'm actually going to text him right now. Yeah, hopefully he can join us soon, because I don't know much about Teal Bunbury, to be honest. And yeah, so hopefully he can join us soon. But well, for anyone who is listening in the live chat, tell me your thoughts about this. Do you think this would be a good move for Nashville SC? Specifically for Nashville fans, do you like this move? Are you looking forward to having Teal Bunbury join you guys from New England Revolution? I know Macho is happy that New England's getting rid of Teal Bunbury. But honestly, I don't know if I don't know if New England Revolution fans, like, overall also agree of, like, getting rid of Teal Bunbury. I think they do. I don't know. But yeah, what do you guys think? Yeah, so far no word from Rufo. Yeah, he knows more about Teal Bunbury. He would definitely give us more in depth about Teal Bunbury. You know what, guys? I'm gonna pause the show. Like, there's not that much, like, there's not much people watching anyway. I think no one's watching the show, the live chat. So I'm gonna pause the stream really quick. We'll be right back after this break. All right, boys, we're back. Um, Rufo has not texted me yet. Has not texted me back yet, so I guess we'll just move on then. Moving then on to our next topic. Another transfer news. So Jean Mota has signed for Inter Miami. This is of course coming back. This is coming from our website. So Inter Miami have signed midfielder Jean Mota from Brazilian top flight side Santos FC through the 2024 season. With a club option for the 2025 campaign, the club announced Sunday. The 28-year-old has spent his entire club in his native Brazil, including nearly 10 years in the club's top flight, debuting with Portuguesa in March 2012, before playing for Fortaleza and then Santos, where he had 10 goals and 20 assists in 207 appearances across all competitions since June 2016. So according to the chief soccer officer and sporting director Chris Henderson, we're thrilled to add a player of John's experience and ambition to our team. We've followed him for some time as he's a well-rounded, versatile, and very smart player on the pitch. He checked every box through our diligent recruitment process, and we're excited to see him represent the Inter Miami badge. So this seems to be like a pretty exciting signing for Inter Miami, especially from the board. And in my opinion, I think this is a pretty good replacement for Lewis Morgan since he got got traded to New York Red Bulls for 1.2 million in general allocation money. So yeah, let's just talk about really quick about Lewis Morgan now. So the New York Red Bulls officially acquired Scottish winger Lewis Morgan from Inter Miami in exchange for $1.2 million in general allocation money over the course of 2 years. It was announced Sunday as part of the league's half-day trade window. The Red Bulls will send Inter Miami 700,000 of GAM for 2022 and 500,000 of GAM for 2023. Miami will also retain a percentage of a future transfer. The Athletics' Sam Stagskull and Paul Tenorio were the first to report the deal, which was confirmed by MLSsoccer.com's Tom Bogert. We're delighted to add Lewis as an attacking option, Red Bull New York head of sport Kevin Thelwell said in a statement. Not only does he bring a wealth of experience from Europe, but he has found success in MLS in the last 2 seasons. Success with Miami, that's a bit of a stretch in my opinion. We hope that his experience within the league will provide an immediate impact to our group. So yeah, Inter Miami has given New York Red Bulls Lewis Morgan, which of course leaves us to the signing of Jean Mota from Santos FC from Brazil. So obviously going to be I assume he's going to be a replacement from Lewis Morgan, but based on what has been said from the MLS website on Jean Mota, this signing seems pretty interesting. I think this is a pretty good move for Inter Miami, especially a team who who definitely needs to rebuild after their first 10 seasons. They have not been successful. They have not been successful in the first 2 seasons in Major League Soccer. So I think it's a pretty good move for Inter Miami. One move I would like to suggest for them to possibly do though is they got to get rid. In my opinion, they got to get rid of Matuidi and Gonzalo Higuain. I know technically, I think Higuain is still with the club, but still, Matuidi and Higuain need to go, in my opinion. Like, I know Higuain was decent for some time with the club this season, but still, if they want to be successful, they got to get rid of these old-timers, especially these players who are holding them back. So, in my opinion, they should honestly get rid of Matuidi and Gonzalo Higuain and go for more South American players if they want, just like Jean Mota. I know they did that with Pellegrini, and they had to dump Pellegrini. I think he's playing for their reserve team now for Fort Lauderdale CF. But still, I think this is a pretty good move for Jean Mota. I mean, a pretty good move for Inter Miami of signing Jean Mota. Definitely a pretty good addition to their lineup, and possibly a replacement for Lewis Morgan. But tell me your thoughts, guys, about this signing. Oh, Rufo's back.
Oh my God, bro! missed. Oh my lord, I'm sorry if I missed out, guys.
Hey, no worries, bro. I'm just happy you're back, bro. We're just talking about Jan Mota signing for Inter Miami. Tell us your thoughts, because I already gave my thoughts. Tell us your thoughts about this signing, bro.
All right, you guys, I had a very good feast on something. I'm sort of out of breath. So Chad who? Motola?
Jan,
No.
Jan Mota or Jan Mota.
Jan Mota. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Let me take my time, boys. Because
Okay.
it almost feels like I ate too much chalupas or too much tacos ever since. All right, hold on real quick.
So just to give you a review. So he is a midfielder from Santos FC, and according to the MLS website, so he's been in his entire career playing in Brazil, debuting with Portuguesa in March 2012 before playing for Fortaleza and then Santos, where he had 10 goals and 20 assists in 207 appearances across all competitions since June 2016.
Oh, I now just found it. So, yeah, Jen Mota. So, of course, this is a great signing for Inter Miami, who are looking to rebuild for the squad. Because, for one, I'm gonna explain to y'all this. So, I know I missed a lot. I know I may have missed whatever the case may be, which I'm probably gonna review the MLS Madness podcast, of course, after this recording is done. But Jan Mota is a very good pickup, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, for one, he plays like, of course, in the Brasileiro Serie A for Santos FC. Now, the reason why it's really good is, for one, Brazil produces a lot of great players. Like, for one, examples like Antonio Carlos, who now is the defender for Orlando City, the likes of Brenner, who came from Brazil Serie A as well. And now you have Mota. But there's also another list of big name players that came from Brazil that are either playing in Europe's top 5 leagues, and even then, and this could be a huge boost for MLS too, because remember too, Pablo as well might have came from Brazil Serie A, who was a big pickup for Seattle Sounders. Now, Miami, the reason why I would say this is also a good thing for them is because, for one, they need a midfield. They need a better midfield. They knew well that it just can't be done with Blaise Matuidi. And Matuidi, yes, he's a very world-class European giant as a midfielder, but those days are gone. Those days are officially over for him.
Yeah.
So Miami need to start recognizing who's the veteran that can lead the line and who's the guy that can lead with experience that can actually lead Miami to their first playoff appearance ever in their history. David Beckham needs to play the cards right, and I feel like him and Phil Neville, along with that whole board staff of Miami, have really wanted to do this rebuild in a while, to rebuild that midfield and to reconfigure to the point where they can actually find success, which for me, I feel that success is coming right about now. Like that one super team that we can think of, though they don't have like the likes of a Ronaldo or Messi that we may see upon ourselves. So yeah.
Indeed, bro. And as I said earlier, I think this would be a good replacement for Lewis Morgan, since he left Miami for New York Red Bulls in the MLS half-day trade window. So, yeah, I think I agree with you. This is a pretty good move for Inter Miami. Hopefully, they can finally get things right, and this time, probably have one of the best seasons they're gonna have, considering how their first 2 seasons were not as successful as many people were expecting. So yeah,
they might as well put Gary Neville next to his brother Phil, so that way that chemistry works out to be very good. I don't give a damn if he works for Sky Sports. Put him in that team though too.
Well, actually, to be fair, if that were to happen, that would not be the first time we would see two twin ex-players / managers managing a team, because if you recall, when we had Guillermo Barros Esqueloto's manager, he had his twin brother Gustavo Barros Esqueloto as assistant coach, and well, as we all know, we were not successful with those two as coaching staff. So, but that would be interesting, though. That would be interesting to see the Neville brothers managing Inter Miami,
which is a dream, which you can recall. But at the same time, though, anything can happen in this world. So yeah,
indeed. Yeah. All right, then, guys. So moving then on finally to our next segment, we've talked about the news. Now we're going to talk about the rumors, and Rufo is actually in time for this because our first topic for our next segment of the transfer. We're not going to talk about Gabriel. That was from last season. So sorry about that, guys. That was an error on me. But for our first topic for our transfer rumors segment is Daryl T. Gay possibly moving to West Brom. This is coming to us from a One Football article actually sent to me from Rufo. So thank you, Rufo, on that. And according to the One Football article, it says here that West Brom could be looking at the possibility of taking a striker from MLS, according to one Baggies reporter. I have no idea what that means. But it says here,
Guys, West Brom's mascot, real quick, by the way, just so you know. They call themselves the Baggies.
Oh, okay. Wow, okay. That's pretty interesting. So it says here, in a recent article from the Birmingham Mail, West Brom journalist Joe Chapman had this to say about the possibility of the club making a move to sign Orlando City striker Daryl D. Gay in January. He says, I wouldn't entirely rule out the signing of someone like Daryl D. Gay. We know Ismail knows all about him, that he's a big fan of him. He got a serious tune out of DK at Barnsley last season, and he's a very well liked out in the MLS. He's someone who has been linked with the Premier League, as we've seen him before. Players in the MLS will come over here at this time of year because their season has finished or is about to finish. Provided they could agree something with Orlando, Daryl DK will still very much be their number one. So let's talk about this rumor. So Daryl DK to West Brom. Now, I'm pretty sure as you MLS fans who are watching, I'm pretty sure you guys know or have heard about Daryl DK. I think it's pretty inevitable that he's going to leave Orlando City at some point. Obviously, we're not sure yet, but from what it looks like, I think the main destination might be in the Premier League or maybe back in the EFL Championship. I think the Premier League would be a better move. But now, of course, I'm going to give the spotlight to you, Rufo, especially to you because, of course, if you guys do not know, Rufo is an Orlando City fan. So, Rufo, what are your thoughts on Daryl DK possibly joining West Brom?
My thoughts on this rumor for Daryl DK. DK's a very
You broke up a little bit, bro. Oh crap! Rufo, you broke up. You broke up. I don't hear you.
forward to Romelu Lukaku when Lukaku power, he has precision, he has speed. Though there are some things that he is getting improved. Wait, what happened?
Rufo, yeah, sorry about that. Can you say it again because you broke up? Like we couldn't hear you.
Oh, can y'all hear me though?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay, so like I was saying, DK, I feel like for me, this rumor, honestly, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Because for one, I wouldn't want to see DK in a level that he was at in the time that he was like, provided by. Like, yeah, I know West Brom would be a very good fit, but they are already in a position that could basically make them qualify for the Premier League. But I highly doubt that he goes over to West Bromwich Albion, and here's the reason why. For one, you're not going to go to a team that actually gets promoted and then to just get relegated right away. Like, don't get me wrong, they do have like certain attackers and defenders. Like, you got a Jai who's in the back end of the spectrum. Then you have, I don't know, Carlin Grant, and then that one guy Diangane from that used to play for West Ham and was a young prospect. I don't really think DK.
Oh, you broke up a bit again. Rufo, we don't hear you. Crap, I think he lost connection. Rufo, are you there? Hold on, I'm gonna test him. Text him. All right. Let's see if we can get him back. Hey Rufo, if you can hear me, I'm just gonna end the call and I'll call you right back. I'm gonna text him. Oh, okay, I think he did hear me. All right. So let me call him back. Yeah, I turned that sound off for you guys in case it started to get annoying. Hopefully he can pick up. I think he lost connection. Yeah, I do apologize, guys, for all the technical difficulties. Yeah, this show has been a long one, but yeah. I mean, there was a lot to talk about today. Oh, shoot, he didn't answer. Crap. Well, I guess in the meantime, well, because I know Rufo had more to talk about on Daryl TK. Okay, you know what? Okay, what we're gonna get back to TK. We'll move on to our next topic. We'll go once we get Rufo back, we'll get back to DK. So moving then on to our next topic, guys, in the transfer rumors. This one is actually irrelevant because this one is coming to us from. Hold on. Oh shoot, I deleted that. Oh wow. Wait, hold on. I think you can get it back. Hold on. Okay. So this is coming to us from at MLS News on Twitter. So according to him, he says that Charlotte FC has interest in Jesus Medina per source. Medina, 24, age 24, had his option declined today by NYCFC. We'll see if Charlotte selects him in the expansion draft tomorrow. So this is coming yesterday, but I think Rufo's back. Rufo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. I could not freaking my connection was so bad. Like, oh my god.
It's okay, bro. It's okay. No worries. I'm just glad you're back, bro.
All right. So, like I was saying, DK has precision, power, and strength. Like, those are the things probably needed a number 9. I'm sorry, Josh Sargent. I have to throw you under the bus here, but you are not strong enough to be a Premier League striker. I'm sorry. But to those Josh Sargent guys that I do believe in, yes, he creates attacks. The one thing that falters with him is his shooting.
Oh yeah.
That's very much about it. He's pacey. He can somewhat dribble with the ball, but the only thing that lets him down is his shooting and his physicality. But DK has that does not reiterate or that does not have the similarities to Sargent is that DK is a lot more stronger. He may not be the fastest, but he can actually back you in the goals whenever the case may be. Like, it's the reason why I say that he should go to a Premier League side, like a team that needs the system of Daryl DK. Physicality, the power, the precision. His dribbling is getting better as the days go by. This is why I would say Leeds United would be a better fit for him if he were to go out into Europe with Ricardo Pepe or whoever else wants to join him along with him. Now, do I believe that he's going to go in January? Probably not. Is it necessary? Yes. Now, the reason why I would say yes, though Orlando would rate him highly at a $20 million price tag. I mean, he only did score only 12 to 11 goals in 19 appearances when he was with Orlando City, and he just started to fire up near the end of the season with Orlando City. I wish we got that type of Daryl DK during the parts where Nani was non-existent, but at the same time, though, like, just to think about it, this man does not need to be in the championship. Like, this man deserves the spot in the Premier League, no matter what the case may be. Whether he's right behind Bamford or whether he's in the spot where Patrick Bamford would be at or where Josh Sargent isn't reliable at all, like, he could go to a team that's either fighting for relegation or absolutely just needs the striker to bolster the lineup up no matter what the case may be. DK is a Premier League talent, not an EFL championship player anymore.
Yeah.
He's not a championship player no more. He's a Premier League prodigy going through the ranks. And I'm not going to overhype this man because that's not my job to do. We can all see the talent that he possesses. The same that goes for Ricardo Pepe, the same talent that goes for the likes of Mark McKenzie, and Miles Robinson. And the same can go for Sean Johnson, who's underrated for the moment, who's been around the league and I guess the USMNT field for a long time now, that just hasn't had that one call up in a while.
Yeah.
In a way. But FG, my question though for you is like, do you think he moves to Europe in the January transfer window? Like, I know Orlando, like, of course, for our beloved club, we've lost Nani. We don't know what's going to be happening with Mauricio Pereira. And we already know what's going to happen with Chris Mueller. But the thing is, though, Orlando still need a striker. And we need that prominent attacker that can basically keep us going moving forward until they have to make that big move. So what are your thoughts of Daryl DK having this rumor from another championship club? And what are your thoughts overall?
Well, I agree with you that he's more of a protege for the Premier League than for championship. Would he get sold in the January window? I would not be surprised if he will be. I'm pretty sure he will be. But in case if he doesn't, then without a single doubt, he will be sold in the summer window. I think without a single doubt, he will be sold in the summer window in case he is not sold in the January transfer window. But as for the question now, which Premier League club could sign him, or where would he fit best in the Premier League? In my opinion, I can see him play for Brentford, or maybe even possibly Leeds United, or maybe even Wolves as well. I think one of those three clubs, I can see him play in the Premier League. I can see Daryl DK play in the Premier League, possibly maybe for Southampton as well. Maybe Watford as well. One of those five teams, I can see Daryl DK play in the Premier League. What do you think, Rufo? In your opinion, which Premier League clubs do you see Daryl DK play, or who do you think will sign from the Premier League? Who will sign Daryl DK, in your opinion?
And the guy that actually is very physical enough and has shown tons of promise in MLS. And as they say, MLS develops players, not just retire those that are already going into the twilight years. Stuff like shit. Like look at Caden Clark, for example. Like, yeah, of course, this man was injured for most of the season, but man was still in Red Bulls. Though he was more of a ghost when he came back from injury, and we haven't really heard much about him, he still got his move to Leipzig. Another guy that you may know who's now playing Champions League football in the round of 16, Brendan Aronson, brother of Paxton Aronson. Brendan was an absolute star when he was with Philadelphia Union and brought that team into the success with Glasnes, with Persplauko, and all those guys, Santos, to bring him to their first ever supporter shield in a while in their history. And, and I feel like it's going to be the same for DK and for Pepe. For me, in my opinion, like I said, I feel like the better suitors for a Premier League club to get this man so that way they can fight away from relegation would have to be Leeds, no matter what the case may be. Like, there's no way he's going to be signing with Burnley. There's no way he's going to be signing with Newcastle. Oh, yeah. And we know damn well he's not going to be signing with Newcastle because, for one, it's not like Newcastle's going to be like, spending that $20 million on just the striker from the USMNT and from Orlando City. They can go spend like all the money that they got from like the richest people in the world for other world-class players that can believe in the project and that can believe in other things. Burnley, I wouldn't say would be a good fit because, for one, yeah, of course, he is physical and he is strong, but as they say, all Burnley fans, the Clarendon Blues, not the West Ham side, but the Burnley side, Brexit means Brexit. They're only going to be relying on people that are like, very experienced, that can keep them up no matter what the case may be. And they've only signed one key player in Maxwell Cornet to keep them fighting to stay in the Premier League, but it's not going to be enough. So they need to sign another guy, but I don't think they're going to be believing in DK because, one, he's young, and two,
He just doesn't have that much experience because he only has experience in the championship. Brentford, I mean, it's a good destination as well, but remember, Ivan Toney's a starting striker, depending on how the formation forms for them. And then, I mean, that's pretty much about it. But that's why I would say Leeds, because for one, just in case Patrick Bamford falls to injury, and it has been showing this season, Marcelo Bielsa, it's not his fault for all the injuries that has been earned during the season. Like Bamford's been out. The likes of Mateus Klick has been out. Robin Koik, when he hasn't been in the lineup, has been out. Elion Millier almost got out of the lineup, but instead he still kept on fighting for the spot in the goalkeeper spot, and he's a very good talent as well. But back to DK. He could be such a great replacement in the long run. I know there's Joe Geldhard and all these other attackers as well, but DK can fill that void of having a more physical, prominent striker with finishing, with better pace as time goes on, and just bodying players with physicality. So that way Leeds can somehow make opportunities and create chances the way others may see it upon. Because remember, the Premier League, you need more physical and fast players to basically keep on going within. No wonder why Chelsea signed Romelu Lukaku from Inter. I know they may have saw him with Man United, but they saw the potential within him, and he signed back with the club that once first signed him away from Anderlecht. They showed a lot of that from within too. And the same could be said for DK. No matter what the case may be, I feel like Leeds need to sign him if they can, whether it's in the summer transfer window. But if they need him now is the time to do it in January, which I know I'd be sad to see DK go. I know I have his jersey. But if Leeds need him the most out of all time, or if they start winning games again, they just got battered 7-0 by Man City as of today. If none of y'all know that. Leeds got battered today, and that's going to bring on a message. They didn't have Patrick Bamford. They didn't have Rodrigo. And I don't think they had Rafinha in the lineup. Nobody. All they had was either their U23s or their B team that would play in the FA Cup or in the EFL Cup. They didn't have Bamford, and they didn't have Rafinha, I bet, nor Rodrigo, who would be their key players as well in that attack. They need to bring another striker, and I would feel that Daryl Dike could fit in that system overall with Marcelo Bielsa. If he can click with Bielsa, he can probably click with that goddamn team as well. Preach.
Pretty interesting, bro. Yeah, I could totally see Daryl Dike play for Leeds United. That would be a pretty cool signing, in my opinion. You know, and I think he would do a good job with Leeds United. I think he would be a pretty good player. Moving on, guys, to our next topic for today in the transfer rumors. We're going to skip the Jesus Medina one. It's kind of irrelevant because Charlotte FC has done their picks, and Jesus Medina is not one of them. But we'll talk about this. We'll talk about the picks some other day. We'll move on to the next transfer rumor, which is Sebastian Lletget possibly moving from LA Galaxy to New England Revolution. Now, according to Twitter, this rumor is actually it's kind of finalizing. It's pretty soon to be official. But this rumor is coming to us from the MLS website, and they say that LA Galaxy midfielder Sebastian Lletget looks increasingly likely to have a new home in 2022, with several MLS clubs interested in acquiring the U.S. men's national team mainstay. The Washington Post's Stephen Goff reported Thursday that the New England Revolution and LA have a trade in the works that would send Lletget to the Revs in exchange for allocation money. MLSsoccer.com can confirm the discussions, but Lletget's agent, Chris Megalotis, provided a statement saying that talks of a deal being close to finalize are premature. So according to him, a direct quote from him, the LA Galaxy have been contacted by a handful of clubs regarding the future plans of Sebastian Lletget. They have been in touch with myself. We agree that we would look at any potential offers, but reporting of any deal being close to finalize is premature at the moment. But again, according to Twitter, I checked today. According to Twitter, it seems that this deal is pretty close in finalizing. So we might ending up getting an announcement from either club, maybe by the end of this week. But as for this move, coming from an LA Galaxy fan, I have two conflicting opinions on this. I'll start with the first one. The first one is I'm actually a little upset in seeing Sebastian Lletget leave the LA Galaxy, because the main reason is that this guy was a true LA homegrown player. This guy lives in LA. He has been playing for LA since like I think 2015, I think. So this guy is a true MLS, a true LA Galaxy connected player, connected to Los Angeles, connected to the home team, and like this guy is such a likable guy. Like many fans like him. He's a good player. He's not a great player. He's not one of the best midfielders we've had, but he is a good, decent player. And obviously, like the fans are so connected to him. He's been so connected to the community as well. The boy, that's what we call him. Of course, all the guys are all over his girlfriend Becky G, but we don't need it. We don't need to talk about that. But yeah, but yeah. Sebastian Lletget leaving LA Galaxy for me. My conflicting opinion is that my first opinion is that yeah, in my opinion, I would be a little bit disappointed to seeing him leave. But apparently, there's talks that he wants to leave the club. So if he wants to leave the club, then good luck for you, my friend, to New England Revolution. But now for my second conflicting opinion, I'm a little bit happy that he's leaving for the reason that, like I said, he's a good player, decent at best, but I have a feeling, Rufo, that we could definitely get a better midfielder than Sebastian Lletget. I have a feeling, like there's better midfielders out there in MLS, like let alone the world, that they're better midfielders than Sebastian Lletget. Like they could do a better job than Lletget in the midfield position. One player that comes to my mind is Emmanuel Reynoso from Minnesota United. That guy is one of the best midfielders Minnesota United has. And in my opinion, he's a better player than Sebastian Lletget. So yeah, like my two, like yeah, I'm like happy and upset at the same time that he's leaving. But now let's move on to you. What are your thoughts on New England Revolution acquiring Sebastian Lletget from the LA Galaxy?
Jet, I know I've heard a lot of like smack talked about him through the USMNT, and if you heard from me and Brian from State of Soccer, and everyone else has talked about him playing for the national side, I know there's a lot of smack about him because GGG wants to choose him, but on the club side of things, I wouldn't say this is a loss for LA Galaxy, but it's more of like a farewell. A guy that's played there since he first got called up in 2015 to help them go from whatever ways they were. Even when they were in their highest of highs and into the lowest of lows. When they would finish either in dead last or second to last before Zlatan or even after Donovan had retired. Even when Donovan came back, they still made the playoffs at some point, but they just failed to qualify to make it into that semifinal playoff push. But Lletget, though I have not seen him play as much, all I know is on the ball, he's just a very good guy. And if he goes to New England Revolution, he's going to know a couple of guys, whether it's from the USMNT or whether it's just in general. Like for Matt Turner, him and Matt Turner are pretty much good mates, and they pretty much play for the same national team. And don't get me wrong, like, LA from New England, like having to play from Dignity Health Sports Park up to Gillette Stadium is going to be such a big difference. But because Lletget will be joining, probably more than likely to join, and like the Revs, he will not just be joining Matt Turner. He will also be joining Gustavo Bull, Adam Butska, Carlos Hill, and without Tajon Buchanan, but all the other players, including Polster. Let me not forget Polster. Polster was a pretty good key player in that New England Revolution lineup. And everyone else that won that supporter shield that had the best record in MLS ever to do it. Now, and then, and this will probably be such an upgrade for New England to bolster that lineup a little bit more because they're going to lose out on Tajon Buchanan because he's going to be leaving to Club Rouge coming into January. So they kind of got somebody in that midfield spot or in that role, not the same as Tajon, but, a guy with capability that can pass the ball and that can, control the game a little bit more as the play goes on, no matter what the case may be. That way he can feed balls over to Adam Butska or to Gustavo Bull or the back pass over to whoever he needs to go to. So for me, I would say it'd be a pretty good signing. It's better than Teal Bunbury, which I believe we'll talk about soon. But at least we all know Lletget is a legit guy. Legit, get it? He's a legit guy because for one, he's not a liability, and we can all agree with that. He's not a liability. We've seen it from years past. We've seen it even when he went to the Gold Cup
up with the United States, and he was never a liability to begin with. Like, he never put up a bad performance. Like, you can name one bad performance, but all the other performances that he's had has been consistent at most times, even if people kind of give him smack about it. But even then in MLS, this man is not a liability at all. But when it comes to like whether it's national level, then that could be a different story. But in MLS in general, he hasn't been a liability to the LA Galaxy. He hasn't been a liability at all for the league in general, which this would be a very good pickup for New England Revolution, in my opinion. Now, for LA Galaxy, that means they would have to go find another midfielder, losing Jonathan Dos Santos as well, which I bet you've probably talked about in recent episodes as well. But
Yeah.
for me, LA Galaxy need to work their best to find not just one, but two midfielders to absolutely feed Chicharito and a couple of other people as well, like Grand Sear, and most possibly another top striker or defenders that can absolutely bring LA back to the glory days of where they won a supporter shield or where they've won MLS Cups. Because, yes, this team may be famous because they brought David Beckham, but not only for that, they've also built Landon Donovan in the way he's actually been trying to progress U.S. soccer as well. Like him and David Beckham and a couple of those other guys that used to play for LA Galaxy that then won those Cups back in the 2000s, even in the 2010s as well. The reason why they like exist now and they're put on the map in the world, why they're like one of the top world famous clubs. Now, not like the best clubs like, Barcelona or Real Madrid or Man City now or Man United, but in general, like just the top world club in general that people can trust that see, LA is a very good city. It's beautiful city, very clean city and shit. And a very, very good club indeed. Like they brought names like Zlatan, Gio Dos Santos, like I said, Jonathan Dos Santos, for crying out loud, Chicharito, who's rebuilding his career at a club that is in dire need to getting back to the playoffs. Like, how many years has it been since the LA Galaxy haven't made the playoffs? Like years ago.
Well,
But either
actually,
way, for the chat, great. Go ahead.
well, actually, it's been 2 years since we've not made the playoffs, but it's been 7 years since we won. Since we won the last MLS Cup back in 2014.
So indeed, too, like one, it's like an upward towards us. So it's a dub for, I guess you could say, the Revs. But as for the Galaxy, I wouldn't say it's an L because y'all are just getting allocation money. But that just means y'all still for rid of Steres and Zubac. I feel like Zubac was a little bit better than Steres, though. That's the thing, though. But I guess we'll talk about it more later on. But to be fair, though, like, I guess moves are moves, and the way it looks is the way it looks. So for me, it is what it is for LA Galaxy. But the boy or Mr. Leggett just going from the club that he once grew up to be with and to see him play alongside Donovan, to play alongside Zlatan, and now most likely to be playing alongside the recent MLS MVP and Carlos Gil, Gustavo Bo, who's a very striker in breakout season in 2021, goalkeeper in Matt Turner. That's pretty much going to be such a big ask to just tell Leggett to do his very greatness of stuff that he has to do.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I do agree. I think this would be a really good boost for New England, specifically, of course, in the midfield. But as for us, if he does end up leaving, then I hope that we can replace him with a really good midfielder, which I'm pretty sure we will. But yeah. So if Leggett does leave New England, then I of course wish the best for Leggett. I wish him the best success for New England Revolution. And as for the Galaxy, well, then our job is to basically boost our midfield because besides him, we've lost Jonathan Dos Santos. So now that's two midfielders that we pretty much have to try to replace and add to our team depth. But speaking of midfielders, there is a rumor that we're going to talk about in a moment. There's 4 rumors. They're pretty short rumors, like they were announced, but so far, nothing has been, like, there hasn't been like anything leading up to that rumor. But let's just start with the first one. The first one is a pretty surprising one. We're once again going back to the infamous Pavon saga that was going on back like in early 2021. So once again, another rumor that was going on like about 5, 7, 6 days ago of LA Galaxy once again interested and ex-winger Christian Pavon, currently playing for Boca Juniors. This is coming from TNT Sports AR, Argentinian source, and it says that there would be an agreement in principle between Boca and Los Angeles Galaxy to sell Christian Pavon. Pavon also has a contract until June 30th of 2022 and could go free to another club. Corner of the Galaxy also confirmed this morning, again, this was like 7 days ago, they confirmed this morning that the Galaxy are once again interested in acquiring Christian Pavon. This is a real interest, but nothing seems imminent. Nothing is close to confirmed yet, but this is definitely something to keep an eye out for going forward. So this rumor of LA Galaxy interested in Christian Pavon, for me as a Galaxy fan, if the Galaxy were to acquire a permanent transfer move for Christian Pavon, I think that would be awesome, because I'm pretty sure if any Galaxy fans are listening or watching this, I'm pretty sure you guys can agree with me on this. It would be amazing to watching El Conductor return to the Galaxy. In fact, many Galaxy fans say they want Pavon back, and I don't disagree. Christian Pavon would be a great addition to our wingers, especially since we have Samuel Grandsir and Kevin Cabral. Cabral, the interesting winger who cannot score jack squat. So we need a desperate winger. In my opinion, we need a winger. We need to grow. We need to grow that depth in wingers, in winger position in the team. And Christian Pavon would be an excellent addition. We would definitely benefit with having our number 10 back in the team. But then again, though, the thing is, though, and I'm talking about back in 2020, watching his style of play, he's more of an advanced playmaker compared to Samuel Grandsir and Kevin Cabral. Those two who are more wingers, who make the pass and the cross to Chicharito, which is, of course, how he plays. That's how he shoots goals, by having the balls passed to him or crossed over the penalty box. Christian Pavon, on the other hand, doesn't do it that much. In fact, he goes for goal himself. So that's the thing that's making me worried a little bit of how, if eventually we do get Pavon, how is he going to play with Chicharito? That's my question. But of course, again, this was a rumor like 6 days ago. So far, there hasn't been anything leading up to this rumor. Nothing has been announced or said yet about this rumor. But Rufo, what are your thoughts about this?
Yo, hold on, bro, because my connection right now is becoming a little bit. Yeah, you become.
Oh shoot, you're breaking up again.
Or was it the thoughts on? Oh, Jesus Christ! No. Yeah.
Okay,
behave. Phone behave. All right.
Okay, we got you back.
I can hear you, bro. All right. So, Jesus Christ, bro. Can this red bar just go away, man? The red bar just doesn't like me, man. Okay, anyways. So you said, what are my thoughts on Christian Pavon on the rumor?
Uh-oh. We're breaking up again. Oh, shoot. You're breaking up again, bro.
Okay, I said, so you told me like son of a bitch. Excuse me. Alright. So you said, what are my thoughts on Christian Pavon?
You still sound laggy, dude.
I sound very robotic. Yeah, I sound like I'm very, very laggy.
Okay, there we go. Now we can hear you better.
All right, can the connection please? All right, so you told me that. What are my thoughts on Christian Pavon going to the LA Galaxy on a rumor? Is that what you told me?
Yeah.
Okay. So after hearing it, and to be fair though, I have seen Pavon play, and he's not a very bad player. He's actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, I never denied that. Pavon. Oh, continue.
No. You can continue, bro. Like, you can finish whatever you're trying to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, yeah, I never denied that he was a bad player. Like, again, if we get Pavon back, that would be an amazing player. Like, it would be such a great relief since we've signed Chicharito, because Christian Pavon was one of the second best player we had since we had Zlatan Ibrahimovic, a super great winger and a great number 10 in the team. So he would be an amazing addition to the team. But yeah, continue with your thoughts on this.
Yeah, like Christian Pavon did have a lot of potential suitors to go to Europe. Now, people did give him the comparisons to Messi, but he's nowhere near Messi, as
Oh
they
yeah,
say.
nowhere.
Now, like I said, he's not a bad player. Like I said, he's not a bad player. He's not like, the worst player in the world, but he can perform to his top powers. Like, look at him back in 2017, 2018. Back when he was in Boca Juniors, that was probably one of his best seasons when it had Dario Benedetto and a couple of other players. And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, he's had a couple of down years, but because Boca did loan him out back to LA Galaxy, did regain the confidence that he once had. But now that the Galaxy are now more in need of a winger that can actually create and make a lot more chances. Usually,
You're breaking up again, bro.
If this red here's okay. Can the red bar not appear? Okay, we're good. To kill myself. Anyways.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, we're good. Then FG, I'm very close to throwing my phone, but at the same time, though, I'm keeping my patience. Anyways, Pavon would be a very good signing. Pavon would be a very good signing indeed if LA can put him on a permanent. But the thing is, though, the question is how many DP spots are open for LA Galaxy, which that's one thing you have to consider.
I think we have one. I think we have one because we lost Jonathan Dos Santos, so I think we may have one or two. I think one or two DP spots.
Okay, so with that DP spot, if he does get the DP spot, he gets the maximum annual salary that is promised for any great player that comes out of Europe or another country. For example, like Mauricio Pereira when he came from Russia, from Krasnodar, or Nani when he came from Sporting when he came to Orlando. Same can be said about Zlatan and a couple of other big guys, but and Carlos Vela. Sorry, LAFC fans, I had to. And for Pavon, he has to sign a DP contract then if he's going to come back to LA. LA really, really, really need him to perform. And we know the talents that this man has. But the question is, can they lure a guy that has played for the club, but make them a whole lot better and make them as a unit so that way they can finish top 5 or top 6 or more than likely top 3, which is a big ask to go for a lot of stuff. So, in general, I feel like for me, it would be a pretty good fit once you have Grant Sear and him and Pavon on the side so that way they can provide Chicharito. So it'd be a pretty good spot for Pavon along the way. So pretty good number 10, and it could be a very huge boost for LA Galaxy indeed.
Agreed, bro. Agreed. Moving on, guys, then to our next transfer rumor, again, involving LA Galaxy. Now, again, of course, this is a small one. Nothing has been said as of lately about this rumor, just a small one. And but it's still something worthy to talk about, especially for you, Rufo, because you're more of a USMNT fan than I am. I'm technically more of a Mexico fan. So. But hey, I still like more USMNT. I still like USMNT, but I do like Mexico. But back to the topic then. So this is coming from us in Instagram from LA Galaxy Central. According to multiple sources on Twitter, the LA Galaxy could be interested in signing 26-year-old winger Tyler Boyd, who currently plays for. Oh boy, I'm gonna destroy this pronunciation. What was that?
Beşiktaş.
Okay, I'm just gonna let you say it because I don't know how to pronounce that. In the Turkish league on loan from yeah. Oh, okay. It says here that it says here that he's currently playing for Saykur Rizespor in the Turkish league. Okay, so he's on loan from Besiktas. He's playing for Saykur, but he's technically owned by Besiktas. So that is the rumor of LA Galaxy apparently interested in signing 26-year-old winger. But again, this is coming like 6 days ago, and there's technically no official article that has announced this. This is again multiple sources on Twitter. No official source has announced this. So again, this is just a very small rumor. But but let's just talk about like from a USMNT perspective. Tyler Boyd, a player that we have seen before, of course, in the USMNT, mostly like in 2020 and 2019. I did Rufo. I don't remember. Did he play in the Gold Cup this season?
I don't think he did at all. Like, I feel like for Greg Berhalter, he didn't really choose it. And just to reiterate, guys, not a full USMNT fan. Like I said, half and half. I keep telling y'all this, man.
What I said earlier is that you are more of a USMNT fan than I am, because I am more of a Mexico fan than USMNT fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, but I'm more equal to both, just letting you know.
All right, bro. All right.
Anyway. But yeah, Tyler Boyd, like, I don't think he played much of Greg Berhalter. Like, I don't even think I can recall him playing with Berhalter's squad in 2021. Now, 2019 could be a different story, which I feel like he has played. But in the meantime, though, I do not think he's played, like, at all in any of the Gold Cup squads, but probably for 2019, though.
Yeah. So as for this rumor about LA Galaxy possibly signing for Tyler Boyd, honestly, I prefer Christian Pavon over this guy, because, I mean, when was the last time you heard Tyler Boyd in a headline, either for USMNT or for Besiktas? Like, not that much, to be honest. So, you could say that Tyler Boyd is a decent player at most, but yeah, I don't know if I would like to sign him. I don't know if I would like to see him play for LA Galaxy. I feel like there's better wingers. Yeah, there's definitely better wingers that we can sign than Tyler Boyd. But what do you think, Rufo? Do you think Tyler Boyd could be a good addition to LA Galaxy? Would you like to see him play in MLS?
I mean, it'd be pretty cool, like Bobby would, but to be fair, though, he does need to rebuild his career. Like, once he went to Besiktas, it was very much done and dust. Like, another USMNT guy in Europe, but he doesn't really play for the club, and he's loaned out, which is a bit of a problem. Like, I know, yeah, he's getting game time, but is the man playing to his full potential, which is another question to be raised as well. Like, see the last season that he's played, I haven't really heard much about it because Kyle Aaron basically stole the headlines. Kyle Aaron scoring goals for Besiktas. He's finally back in the Canadian squad that he used to play in a lot, which he's a former Orlando City player. Tyler Boyd needs to refill the career that he once had and the moments that he's had. Like Greg Berhalter, yeah, he knows him, but the only problem is Tyler Boyd hasn't been putting in any performances ever since. Like, when was the last time you heard Tyler Boyd play in a great game, whether it was for his Turkish club or in European competition or even for in the international side? It probably has been a long time. So what he needs to do is try to find a way to rebuild his career and find an actual way to form whatever source that can come on upon himself so that way he can revitalize. Like, I wouldn't say he's the next Paul Arriola, but to be honest, though, it's kind of giving me the vibe of the next Paul Arriola. And understand this, too. Paul Arriola, I know he played in Mexico. He played for Liga MX clubs, but he then went to DC United. And, yeah, of course, he then went on to play okay-ish, went on to play pretty good football with DC United, and then went to the championship during the offseason, but had an injury. But ever since coming back, it's just been like, yeah, he's been there, but that's pretty much been about it. But Tyler Boyd, though, I mean, he's faster than Arriola. He has a little bit more dribbling capabilities, and he can shoot the ball a little bit. So, pretty good stuff from him. But for LA Galaxy, I wouldn't think it'd be a very good fit because, for one, you already have Grandsir. You already have a rumor in Christian Pavon. And for Galaxy fans, I know they would prefer Pavon over Boyd, but I know Boyd would be looking to recreate his potential again at the age of 26. And don't get me wrong, he still has time. He's only 26, and
yeah,
he can still go on to be like such a world-class player, just not the level of how Christian Pulisic could be. Now, if he could, but at the moment he's not like 19, 20 years old or 26, but it's like State of Soccer once said, once you're like at 26, it doesn't mean your career is over, that you're washed up. You still have time to go. Like, look at what happened to Matt Turner. And so now Sean Johnson, they're already near the. Okay, now I'm probably like cutting in and out again. Okay, there we go. Look at Sean Johnson and Matt Turner. Matt Turner was 26, 27 years old by the time he was called up to the USMNT again during the Gold Cup. But that was only because he put in performances for his club. And now, potentially, for Sean Johnson, because he wasn't really selected as much when Bruce Arena was around, Jurgen Klinsmann was around, and even with Greg Berhalter, ever since he won this MLS Cup, now Greg Berhalter has another choice to choose over Ethan Horvath or other goalkeepers that have the opportunity to play for that national side. But for Tyler Boyd, it would probably be such a great idea to put him into MLS to recreate his career, to recreate the spark that he once had going through the academy, going through Europe, or wherever he came from at all.
Yeah.
In a case.
You know who I can see him play? Like if he were to come to MLS, you know who I think he would be a great signing for Charlotte FC, in my opinion.
I mean, I could see that happening too, especially with Christian Fuchs now having the experience coming from Leicester City. I know he won a Premier League title in the most unpredictable year of 2015-2016, which was very amazing. You got the likes of other guys that may have been drafted in the Super Draft or the expansion draft, so there's that as well. And to be fair, like, it could also be another great fit for him. Although they have uniforms that look like Arsenal's former home kit from back in the day, which we will not criticize in this goddamn studio now. But Tyler Boyd could also recreate his career with Charlotte SC, a new team with new ambitions. But the question is, how far will they push upon the playoff spots, or even in their first season? Like, how will their first season go? Like, will it be like an Atlanta United qualifying for the first time in their first season? Or will it just be like one of those seasons where it's FC Cincinnati or Minnesota United or Orlando City or even New York City FC, where they somewhat struggle, but then they somehow make it into the playoffs, or they just miss the playoffs completely, or they're just the bottom feeder team that just feeds off from the rest of the bunches?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely something to consider. But again, at the end of the day, this is just a rumor. And like I said earlier, nothing has been said, like nothing has been announced or said leading to this rumor. Just a very short rumor that lasted like a day. So it seems very unlikely that LA Galaxy is going to sign Tyler Boyd. And for our sake, thank goodness. But hey, no offense to Tyler Boyd. It's just, yeah, I really do prefer any other winger than Tyler Boyd. Of course, that includes Christian Pavon. Moving then on to our next topic. Once again, another short, like 1 day long rumor, but something that did caught my eye. So this is once again coming to us from LA Galaxy Central in Instagram. He reports that according to reports from Corner of the Galaxy and Galaxy Rumors on Twitter, the LA Galaxy is in negotiations with 31-year-old defensive midfielder Eli Sanchez. He last played with Sporting Kansas City and spent 5 seasons there. Do you think, oh yeah, that's just him asking the question. Basically, he's asking the question of, do you think he would be a good replacement for Dos Santos? To be honest with you, Rufo, I don't know much about this guy. Never heard of him. To be honest, because I don't follow that much Sporting Kansas City. But, I mean, considering how he has spent 5 seasons with Sporting Kansas City, which of course means he has 5 seasons, maybe even more, of MLS experience, and considering again that he's a defensive midfielder, I think he would be a good replacement for Jonathan Dos Santos, in my opinion. Like, again, we really need to grow in depth our midfield position now that we lost Jonathan Dos Santos, now that we lost Victor Vasquez, but thank goodness that we got rid of Victor Vasquez. It doesn't look like we're going to sign Sasha Cleiston again, thank goodness. And it's very likely that we're gonna lose Sebastian Lletget. So we really need to grow in depth our midfield position in the January transfer window. But considering this rumor, I think, I mean, despite how I don't know much about this guy, I think he would be a good replacement for Jonathan Dos Santos, mainly because of his MLS experience with Sporting Kansas City. But what are your thoughts on this, Rufo?
I mean, it'd be something big for him indeed, because for one, like talking about what was it, Eli Sanchez, right?
Yeah.
Sanchez, that is his name. Yeah, Eli Sanchez. I have seen him play a little bit for Sporting Kansas City, and he's a pretty good defensive midfielder. Like not like a terrible one where he's just like mediocre, but something to consider where he can establish good things to come, especially for the likes of what the is this? Oh my goodness, they just parked in my driveway. That's crazy. Anyways, but for me, like he does replace like the likes of uh of Jonathan Dos Santos in the defensive category. Now Dos Santos, I wouldn't say was a terrible defender. Like he could defend a little bit, but it wasn't to the extent where Galaxy fans could actually be like, oh, how are we gonna get the ball back, or how will we pass the ball back in a certain way, But at the end of the day, though, at least they got something in general where they have the capability to find a defensive counterpart.
Oh, Rufo, are you there? You got cut off. Oh, I think we lost him again. Let me text him. Yeah, Rufo, if you can hear me, you got cut off. I can't hear you. Rufo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay, there we go. Oh, shit, that was loud.
Huh? Pues yo no vi la mensaje.
All right, then. So we'll just move on then to our next topic. Once again, a really short rumor. But this one definitely did caught my eye. This is coming this time on Twitter from LA Galaxy Rumors at LAG Rumors. So according to him, LA Galaxy in talks with 29-year-old defender Eric Zavaleta. He last played with Toronto FC and is coach Greg Vanney's nephew. So this is just a rumor coming on Twitter. No official source, like no article has announced this. But as to any thoughts coming for this rumor, again, honestly, I don't know much about Eric Zavaleta. I think I have heard of him before, but yeah, I don't know much about him. It is pretty surprising to know that he's nephew with our coach Greg Vanney, though. But that thing does worry me, though, because when it comes to coaches signing a relative, like, wouldn't that mean that they would have more in favor on their relative than on the rest of the players? Of course, that does depend on the manager. It does depend on the person, but as for the talk like of growing in depth, like obviously we traded Daniel Steres to Houston Dynamo, so of course we need to boost our defense because we only have Nick DePew, Derek Williams, and Sergio Koulibaly. I think Marcus Verkranikis as well. So we definitely, besides the midfield, we also need to boost our defense. But as for Eric Zavaleta joining LA Galaxy to boost our defense, I guess it could work. I mean, again, I don't know much about this guy. I just know that he plays for Toronto, and apparently he's Greg Vanney's nephew. So I guess it could work. This wouldn't be the first time that Greg Vanney is bringing an ex-Toronto FC player back with him. Of course, the first one was Victor Vasquez, and of course, we all know how amazing that went.
Bob Bradley Masterclass.
But wait, what was that?
No, I just said Bob Bradley Masterclass.
Yeah. So, Rufo, now that you're back, what are your thoughts on this? Like, do you think this would be a good boost to our defense if Eric Zavaleta joined LA Galaxy?
Eric Zavaleta. Let me do my research here again. So Eric Zavaleta, you said, right?
Yeah.
Eric Zavaleta. All right, so we got Eric Zavaleta. All right, who recently played for Toronto SC, center back. Ooh, that's a good one. That is a very good one, and I could tell you that for a reason. That definitely would be a very good upgrade to the defense, especially with Steres to actually leave the club to go to Houston Dynamo. And for me, it's definitely something to be seen upon because Zabaleta has won an MLS Cup before and he does have experience. And I'm not going to just base it off an MLS Cup, but indeed, too, he can bring the defensive capability that LA need. Now, for one, Eric Zabaleta has kind of a bit declined in his production, but for one thing, I feel like he has the physicality to hold off players off the ball, and he has the defense to actually protect it upon himself. So, in the meantime, like the mobility, I guess you could say is very okay. You know, at least he doesn't turn like the Titanic trying to avoid the iceberg. But in the meantime, I'm just glad that that for him, he's able to at least try to find more defensive capabilities in that Galaxy defense. And it'd probably be an upgrade for him to go to the LA Galaxy than no other because the Galaxy, of course, they don't have Zubac. They don't have Steres anymore. And now they're just going to go in and find a new defense. So that way the manager can at least try to plan around on what they can actually do in the meantime.
Yeah.
But I would say it'd be a pretty good choice. Very, very good choice. Nothing bad.
Indeed, bro. So then moving then on to our next transfer rumor topic. This one is a better one, in my opinion, and actually a recent one. Very recent. So this is a rumor, once again, appearing from Twitter. So apparently LA Galaxy, or actually Salvadorian center attacking midfielder, offered from LA Galaxy. Name is Jairo or Jairo. I don't know. I'm just going with Jairo. Jairo Enriquez. And he recently played for El Salvador in the international friendly versus Chile. And apparently the LA Galaxy has been interested in him recently. Of course, this is again coming to us from Twitter. No official source has announced this yet, but this guy is a center attacking midfielder. And who else is a center attacking midfielder? Sebastian Lletget. So this is really bringing a good sign. So if we were to sell Lletget, which again seems very inevitable, I think this guy might be a really good replacement because apparently he played really well for El Salvador. In fact, many are saying that he's like I'm not sure how old he is, but I think he's young. But he did look like a really good prospect. So I think this could be a really good replacement for the LA Galaxy. What are your thoughts on this, Rufo? Oh, what the heck? Whoa.
The call had dropped. Oh,
okay, there we go. Hey, bro, hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta do something real quick. So, meanwhile, you you take the mic.
All right, brother. So I'm out here replacing Mr. FC real quick. I'm trying to go back to my slides. I cannot find my slides. Okay, hold on real quick, boys. Hold on. That's not it. That's not. Oh, Jesus. Go to the damn slide. All right. That's not it. Lord. I'm so lost, boys. All right. Oh, here we go. This is the guy. All right. So we are talking about Mr. Not John Mota, Mr. Jairo Henriquez. And I think this is the guy. I don't even know what number he wears for. Oh, yep, this is him. So Jairo Henriquez. I haven't really heard much about this guy. I know he does play for the El Salvador national team. Now, in my opinion, boys, like he has played in the Salvadorian National League, of course, in their highest division. So it's not that bad. But for right now, I don't think he's with the club at the moment. I don't think he is. Nope, he's with the club currently. He's playing for CD Aguilia. So if anyone knows any more about him, I am about to also open up my laptop too to open up the YouTube stream because I cannot check chat at all. So I'm about to recheck it here. And by the time I open up this chat, y'all better say what's up by the time I open this laptop and stuff. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. All right, here we go. YouTube. All right, here we go. And I feel like for me, this man, if he does end up going to Galaxy, I know it's a rumor. I know it is. But hopefully, in the time that it is going to become, that the great stuff will happen more along the way. So, with that being said, there's Varktech. Deal is done. Son. Big Zo says I have to do a face reveal. Oh Lord, have mercy. Anyways, I just saw Gabriel Games' freaking contact and stuff. But either way, here we go. So we got the likes of Mr. Enriquez, and to be fair, as for him, it says in Transfermarkt he does play right midfield, which I don't think would be a pretty good shot because, you know, like I said, there is Ground-Seer and there is the possibility of a Christian Pavon if he ever does come back. But if he doesn't play attacking midfield, he would be more of a right midfielder, if you know what I mean, or a left mid. So with that being said, boys, here we go. But he's only 28 years old. He does have citizenship for El Salvador, and his contract, it doesn't say when it expires, but for now, let's just see how everything goes. And there is no statistic of how much he's worth and stuff. So right now it's on an undisclosed fee. So Jairo Henriquez, I mean, very good guy indeed to pick up from El Salvador, but for right now he's currently not worth anything for the moment. So yeah, he plays for El Salvador, and yeah, he may be very big for them as well. But for me, I really think that he will also be another good fit for LA Galaxy. But in the meantime, though, depending if Pavon does come, I know it's a rumor, but if Pavon does end up coming, it would honestly be a great fit for attacking midfield. But like I said, he's more of a right midfielder. But according to Transfermarkt, he does not have a price tag. So right now, he's a new arrival, of course, Transfermarkt, and he's somewhat new. So if it goes on an undisclosed fee, this man goes on an undisclosed fee no matter what the case may be. So yeah. But FG, your thoughts on this man? Because honestly, for me, I haven't really heard much about him up until now. So yeah. I tried my best to explain.
Yeah, same for me. Like, I don't know much about this guy. I just know based on the rumor that's been going on Twitter about LA Galaxy interested in him. But my thoughts on this is that I think he would be according to what they're saying about him being a really good player, like he did a really good performance versus Chile. I think this would be a really good replacement for our team if a replacement for Sebastian Lletget, and hopefully we can try to go for him because this rumor actually is more recent than the other ones we just went over. This is a recent rumor this week, so hopefully this rumor can come true one day. But guys, actually, I want to say that we're gonna have to cut the show short because my parents have told me it is dinner time. So yeah, we there's still a lot to talk about, like still a few more topics, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut the show short. So what we're gonna do is that this is gonna be part 1 of episode 6. Part 2, we're probably gonna do it tomorrow, if that's okay with you, Rufo. Is that okay?
Yeah, sounds good. Honestly, as long as I'm free, as they say.
All right, then, guys. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. So a big, huge thanks for Rufo for joining, for being our special guest for this week's MLS Madness. Huge thanks for you, bro. And
no problem, brother, as always.
And until then, that's going to be pretty much it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. Subscribe to the channel for more FIFA Mobile, and MLS-related videos. And, of course, for the next, for part 2 of episode 6 of our MLS Madness podcast. But, of course, until then, for my friend Rufo, I am Football Galaxy, and have yourselves a great Galaxy night.
Good night, boys.